Wait, don't look away. Loudly crying face umbrella with raindrops. Jimin was caught in the pouring rain, and then Jungkook suddenly did this for him. Purple heart. The moment that happened had ARMY completely melting. Face holding back tears. It was supposed to be a normal moment at BTS's live soundcheck. The members were getting ready, ARMY were watching closely, and the atmosphere was already filled with excitement. But then, something completely unexpected happened. The rain suddenly started falling. At first, it looked like just a light shower. But within moments, the rain became heavier, and Jimin found himself standing right in the middle of it. Fans immediately noticed. Jimin was trying to continue as if nothing had happened, but the weather was clearly making the situation difficult. And then, Jungkook noticed him. What happened next was one of those tiny moments that can easily be missed if you aren't paying attention. But ARMY definitely noticed. Jungkook appeared to realize that Jimin was getting caught in the rain. Instead of simply continuing with the performance preparations, Jungkook reacted almost immediately. His attention shifted toward Jimin. For a brief moment, everything else seemed to disappear. The stage, the rain, the crowd. Jungkook was focused on making sure Jimin was okay. And that is what made this moment so special. There wasn't a big announcement. There wasn't a dramatic speech. It was simply a small reaction between two members who have spent years together. But sometimes, the smallest gestures say the most. Then came the moment that made ARMY emotional. Jungkook moved closer and used his hand to help shield Jimin from the rain. It happened so naturally that some fans probably didn't even realize what was happening at first. But once the cameras captured the moment clearly, fans immediately started reacting. Jungkook wasn't trying to make the moment about himself. He simply saw Jimin getting soaked and instinctively tried to help. And that simple gesture was enough to make the entire moment feel incredibly warm despite the cold rain surrounding them. Jimin's reaction made the moment even sweeter. Instead of turning it into something dramatic, Jimin simply continued with the situation while Jungkook stayed nearby. It felt completely natural. And that's probably why fans loved it so much. After so many years together, BTS members have developed a kind of silent understanding. They don't always need words. Sometimes, one look is enough. Sometimes, one small gesture is enough. And this was exactly that kind of moment. Of course, ARMY are known for noticing even the smallest details. Once clips of the moment started circulating, fans immediately focused on Jungkook's reaction. People weren't only watching the performance anymore. They were watching the interaction between the members. The rain had accidentally created a completely unexpected moment. And what could have been an ordinary few seconds suddenly became one of the most memorable moments of the soundcheck. Fans began replaying the footage, looking at the timing, the expressions, and Jungkook's instinctive reaction. It was one of those moments where you understand why BTS's bond means so much to their fans. Interestingly, the rain itself wasn't really the most important part of the story. What mattered was the reaction. Jungkook didn't need to do anything huge. He didn't need to say anything. He simply noticed that Jimin needed a little help and reacted. That's what made the moment feel genuine. In a world where cameras are constantly watching BTS, moments like this can still feel spontaneous. And when fans saw Jungkook instinctively trying to protect Jimin from the rain, they couldn't help but smile. Jimin and Jungkook have shared countless moments throughout BTS's career. They have performed together, traveled together, laughed together, and supported each other through countless situations. So when moments like this happen, fans often see them as another small reflection of their long friendship. It wasn't necessarily about making a huge statement. It was simply two members looking out for each other. And sometimes, that's more powerful than anything scripted. While BTS continued preparing, ARMY couldn't stop watching. The rain created a completely different atmosphere around the stage. Fans were already excited for the soundcheck, but this unexpected interaction gave them something else to remember. Phones were recording. Cameras were focused on the members. And somewhere among all those thousands of fans, people were realizing that they had just witnessed a very sweet BTS moment. The concert hadn't even properly started yet. And ARMY were already getting emotional. What makes this moment memorable isn't simply that Jungkook helped Jimin. It's the fact that it happened naturally. There was no obvious preparation. No dramatic setup. Just rain falling, Jimin standing there, and Jungkook reacting. Those spontaneous moments are often the ones fans remember the longest. Because they feel real. They remind ARMY that behind the huge stages, lights, performances, and millions of fans, BTS are still 7 people who care about one another. And this tiny moment in the rain captured that perfectly. In the end, it only lasted a few seconds. But sometimes, a few seconds are all it takes to create a memory that fans will talk about for a long time. Jimin was caught in the rain. Jungkook noticed. And without making a big deal out of it, he stepped in to help. It was simple. It was spontaneous. And it was incredibly sweet. The rain may have made the soundcheck unexpected. But Jungkook's reaction turned those rainy seconds into a moment ARMY will never forget. And honestly, sometimes the smallest BTS moments are the ones that hit the hardest. Loudly crying face umbrella with raindrops purple heart.